All right, welcome in. Welcome back to the BFR Podcast presented by Sports Mockery. My name is Dave, cover the Bears for SM, joined by Bears content creator Ficky, of course, good co-host, good friend as well. This is, we've been waiting for this. A good game to recap, right? Week one was a win, but it didn't feel like it. This one, gutsy win all across the board from Caleb Williams to DeAndre Swift coming. He forgot that, he thought the season started today, to be honest. But yeah. Then you have Tory Taylor, who, we're going to get to that later, but such a game changer, right?
For sure.
But the Bears win 24-18, I think was the final score against a Rams team that was, they were way better on defense than I expected. The exotic blitzes I thought they came with was interesting. But Ficky, before we kind of get into our game flow, the recap and everything, initial thoughts, how are you feeling after this huge win?
I feel much better, obviously, because we won. In the second half, we started to move the ball. But the first half had me in shambles because at some point in the second quarter, we had more penalty yards on offense than we had offensive yards. And to be fair, we were up, which is great. You can feel good about that. But we were really only up because Montez Sweat was an animal and forced a strip sack on Stafford, and we got the ball within the 10, which then we couldn't even move the ball. On the 20, and we couldn't even move it there. We got a penalty on a 3rd and long, which put it on the 1 yard line. So the first half, I'm walking away like, bro, are we going to I still did not feel confident about this offense, but the second half was a completely different story. And like I'd said, and a lot of us have said, that the keys of the game, one of them was running the ball. And in the second half, we started to see blocking at the second level. We started to see DeAndre Swift as a runner, which we hadn't saw in a minute. We saw with some pass catching, but running the ball, Roschon looked good. It was a completely different game. And I don't know what adjustments were made at halftime, but you can feel a little bit better moving forward that hey, maybe they can build off that. What about you though?
The first half, I really am getting it's getting old how slow the Bears start on offense. I do not want this to continue to be the theme. We're a quarter of the way through the season now. I think they are working through some things, obviously, but to be able to work through things and get a win like this, go to 2-2, you're 2-0 at home, you're defending home turf. That's important. You're beating a Rams team that I don't think many people actually thought they were going to beat. When the schedule came out. Now, of course, they were missing some key players, but Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, those two are X factors. I don't care who is playing with them. Saw it today. It didn't matter who his receivers are. Matthew Stafford is elite. I thought he was going to kill us. I am so happy we got away with that. Helmet to helmet hit, Tory Taylor. I don't care. We needed that one. We deserve one as a Bears fans. Okay.
For sure.
Jaquan Brisker as well. He is a superstar. I don't care.
Bro.
I know some people have, some things against him. But I think on tape, when you go back and watch this game, he should have 2. I know 2 picks. I know one was taken away because he was out of bounds, but that receiver was 5 yards out of bounds. He was just guarding him, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I get the rule. I think it's stupid though. Overall, this is a huge win. This is the game that a rookie quarterback probably shouldn't win, but this was impressive. Caleb Williams was impressive. You go over his last two games right here. So we're 4 games into the season. His final 2 games. Now I know this is just 2 games, but 520 passing yards, 69% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 93.7 QB rating. Okay. I know it's not flashy. I know he has 2 picks in there. Today, I'm not even going to put that strip sack on him. I'm not. I don't know if anyone else will, but I'm not doing it.
At least we didn't lose it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. So,
but the way he was poised, he was calm in the pocket. That touchdown throw to DJ Moore was special. That's something I don't think.
Beautiful.
And it's not even we say special. Typically, when you hear special, right? Even with Justin Fields, it was because he made a guy miss, threw on the run. No, Caleb was dialed in, stayed in that pocket, and just delivered a beautiful throw. And then DJ Moore showed why he's elite as well, because that's a hell of a catch. He's injured. He's battling as well. But for Caleb to consistently stay in the pocket like he did this today, I'm not even talking about just the touchdown pass, but
the one to
so many times.
The one to commit that went over the linebacker's
in the
finger
third
on third. Yeah. That was, and also remarkable catch by Komet as well. But yeah, there were definitely some touch passes today where you're like, Jesus, that's the guy.
And even though he took a couple sacks, right? I don't know the numbers off the head.
I think one of them wasn't on. Well, there was 2 that were covered sacks. Who it's on, you don't know. People aren't open. Him holding the ball too long.
Yeah.
One of them was just a straight bull rush, I think, by Jared Verse on Braxton Jones. But there was 3 in total. So still not too crazy, right? Compared to the other games that we've seen. And we talked about it. This past, the only thing that was good about the Rams defense was their pass rush. In the first half, I felt like we're about to go down that road where we're giving up like 6-7 sacks because it literally looked like that. And then we lose Tevin, and I'm like, okay, obviously Matt Pryor in there, that's a downgrade no matter what. We're going to give up some. And Matt Pryor did give up that one of the sacks, which wasn't on Caleb, where they sent the house on that last drive. Matt Pryor went to help out a double team with Verse on Braxton Jones, and that blitzing, I think it was a safety, came right by him. So overall, I mean, O-line looked better. Caleb looked better. But that first half, Dave, I'm telling you, I don't know about you. I was literally like about to jump off the roof because I was like, this is the exact – it was worse than last week's first half. And I'm like, how does this team, like you said, start so slow, man? And so many penalties. Oh, my goodness.
The thing with what I like to do is that when it comes to first half tweeting, I try not to go doomsday. Like, I don't. I try not to because there is a whole nother half to play. However, you're right, Ficky. If it just at the end of the half, it just sucks to look at the offense. And I had the numbers before that last final 2-minute drive.
Right.
And I was looking, it was like 27 total yards of passing.
Yeah, Caleb was
going into that final minute.
Caleb had 28 on that last drive. Isn't that crazy?
But I try to stay even keel. I will leave my anger and pissed off tweets for like maybe that late fourth if it's a blowout. I've become a kind of, I guess you can get a little vet here, savvy, because I don't want to jump too much. But you're right. As a fan, it's so frustrating. And I said it's been crucial these last 2 weeks to get off to a hot start, and they just can't. But to piggyback off that, they can adapt. Coaching, I know we give them hell, but Shane Waldron,
hats off.
Hats off. You called him ass, and that was a funny ass tweet in the moment. Like that. What was it? That graphic? You made him a graphic, and I was perfect. Like this is going to be seriously. What an adjustment offensively. I know it wasn't perfect, and we have to work on penalties. We'll get into the stats of the game and everything, but that's coaching. But the adjustments made both on offense and defense was impressive, and the defense you could see was kind of reeling a little bit because the Rams, I don't know why their offensive drives are like 3-hour movies, Ficky. They are long as hell. Yeah. It is boring for the most part.
Matt Stafford on play action is the if you're talking movies, that is the peak of the movie. The plot twist happens, like him on play action. Oh my God. It was like anytime I saw play action, I go, oh, he's going to get 20 plus yards here. And he did. Every time, surgical throws, knew exactly right off the break. And you're not even mad at the defense. You're just like, what are you supposed to do there? So it was good to see the adjustment. But you know what? In the first half, I wasn't even that mad at the defense because they held.
Can't be.
They bend, don't break, right? And they held them to 3 field goals in that first half, right? And Matthew Stafford on 3 field goals, you'll take that any day. Sean McVay, easily top 3 offensive mind in the NFL with Matthew Stafford. Don't give up 1 touchdown at all. You'll take that. They gave us a chance.
I said in our group chat, because, Stafford's going to move the ball. Holding him to field goals is a win because he's going to move the ball. We saw that today where he's going to pick up 60, 50 yards on a drive because he's elite. He's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I know he only has 1 Super Bowl, but probably not first ballot. But I think he's a Hall of Famer, and he showed it today with limited weapons. However, some of those guys looked pretty damn good out there. Their receiving core, and then who is the running back? Kyrie Williams.
Yeah, he's a dog.
God, can we get? Okay, we have Swift. Never mind. But he's an insane runner, dude.
Oh my God, we got so lucky on that trip too because I don't know if you saw the replay, like on that final drive.
On his tight end.
Bro, he's about to sneak.
I don't know if he gets the first down, but they're probably third and second.
Oh, for sure.
Third and two.
Easily.
And the Rams were
killing us
lethal
on third and short. Oh, killing us.
But yeah, there's a comment here from G Baller on YouTube. Good job, Bears. Absolutely. Good job, Bears. To be 2-2 here, man. You feel good. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of storylines that could have came out of this game if we would have lost. One being DJ Moore. Another being, more comparisons just with probably Caleb and the rest of the rookie class. But I thought he had a phenomenal day. So, Ficky, let's go ahead and hop into some of our graphics, our overlays here, and get to some segments. Before we do, though, a lot of people in the chat. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching on Twitter, hop over to YouTube stream, hit that like button, subscribe, stay a while. This is going to be a fun season, like we said. A lot of ups and downs. So I hope you're cool with sticking with us through it all. But again, the support has been unreal. So let's get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to the game recap. Now, here we go. So we got final score 24-18. 3 touchdowns by the Bears. That's what's huge. 3 touchdowns to only their 1 touchdown. The bend don't break philosophy, which we talked about. Passing yards, not crazy with Caleb, right? 133 in total, but he was very efficient with the ball, had 0 turnovers. On the other side, we talked about it. Matthew Stafford is going to get his 200 plus easily. What was concerning, though, for the only nick I have, or the negative I have on the defense, is they did give up a lot of rushing yards. Kyron Williams, a great running back, but their offensive line is known to not be that great. So to see them kind of run it down our throats, that was a little bit unfortunate. But again, they did what they need to. We got 3 sacks on them. One of them with Montez, huge play. Almost play of the game to get the momentum going for us. And then we gave up 3. And then, of course, we had the game-sealing Jaquan Brisker interception at the end. But overall, it wasn't like any team kind of like destroyed each other on either side.
Throw that back up one more time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem.
Love the graphic, but yeah. Caleb Williams.
Yeah, my bad.
Little jump man.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it, dude. Just 24-18. I think our final predictions, I was 24-21.
And I was 27-24. So we were close.
Okay. Very close. Very close. I just love it, man. It doesn't look like, doesn't pop out as like, oh, but like for me, I think it's the touchdowns, finishing drives, right, Ficky? We talked about it last week where it's like, man, that was something they couldn't do. Of course, when you call speed option and the play calls aren't great when you're inside the 20, that happens, right? You settle for field goals or you don't even get points. But this week, the biggest emphasis here was Doug Kramer, Roschon Johnson, that duo, unstoppable.
Yeah, even
love it, dude.
Even a Komet back there at fullback. I love it. He was like that last game too, but he had a couple key blocks on third down. So,
and he did have that penalty though that killed.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, he had those 2.
I think Caleb and the Bears. I think they end that game if they don't get that penalty there.
Oh, for sure.
I think they're feeling good. They're driving. I think they put this game out.
It was like third and what 2?
But hey, 3rd and 2. Yeah.
We got it, though.
We did. I think Doug Kramer I didn't know he played fullback in college.
Neither did I. No idea.
Which is really cool to have that versatility as both a tackle. I'm sorry, is he a guard? No, center.
Center, yeah.
Center, and then also the versatility there, or versatility is amazing to have. I know Blasingame, I don't know if he's healthy. I thought he was healthy.
I wonder if he just didn't get healthy like in time, so he got enough reps. But I would love to see, because Kari is an impact player. So I would love to have him back there. And then we don't have to risk putting our backups or Cole Komet back there. Even though they did a serviceable job, I would just love to see Kari back there next week, which should be the case. So.
I agree. But I actually I love the fullback position, but to be able to keep Doug there and have that versatility, I don't know. But Kari does bring something a little bit different. Do we want to move to Caleb Williams as well, obviously?
Absolutely. So here we go. Jump man, like we talked about. So Caleb Williams here went 17 for 23, which I think is around like 70%. And then he had 157 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, which is great, or turnovers in general. He did have a fumble, but we recovered it. He had 12 rush yards, one of them on a big run, and then a quarterback rating of 106.6.
I want to keep it up there, Fick, because I think my bold prediction was
no turnovers.
No turnovers. Are we giving? That's not a turnover, right? So I think both of our bold predictions came through.
Yeah. It's only a turnover. They recover it. So you're good.
So we lost both,
a fumble, but we got it back.
We were 0-3 on the season with our bold predictions. Now we're 1-4. Man, we saved our season. I guess.
For sure.
But yeah,
and just
I
a
love
reminder, Dave had for his bold prediction on the pregame show, he had 0 turnovers for Caleb, which came true. And then for me, I had 100+ rushing yards for the team.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, Swift almost did that himself with 93. So I think overall, like I said, we had 133, which is great to see. And I think that's a key to why. Well, obviously no turnovers, which is huge. And then running the ball to help establish the pass.
Yeah.
I think those were the keys to winning that game. So I like how we were spot on with that.
Got lucky. Bold predictions can be hit or miss, man. They can be hit or miss.
For a lot of misses on our end, that is for sure.
I know we have our meters here for Caleb. I don't know if we want to get to that here in a second. No, let's keep it in task. Do we want to go ahead and get to Caleb's meter?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start it off here with the Caleb meter. And I'm kind of like, it's moved up a tick, right? It wasn't enough of a game where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the future, even though I still feel he is, but nothing like, oh, like we have ourselves a Patrick Mahomes. But I'm not even mad about that, because for me, with a rookie quarterback, all you want to see is progression, right? Improvement week after week. And I know it's not going to be linear. We all know that, but you just want to see some of the mistakes happen less. And we saw that this week. Way more or way less like misreads. There was that one with DJ Moore, but there's still way less like inaccurate throws, which is good. And then also less hero ball, which I appreciate. Like hero ball when needed. I think he had like one play where he had to do a hero ball, right? A Veda sack. He got it to Swift. He kind of did a hero ball again where he did that screen to Swift as well, like kind of like what we saw in the preseason. So it was like the efficiency of it and not putting yourself in risky situations that allowed the Bears to win, because let's be real, we only won by 6. So that means one more turnover on our end or one play that kind of kills a drive from doing something dumb, we could lose that game easily. So it's good to see that he's kind of not always going, oh, I got to get the deep ball, or I always have to be the hero like he did at USC, and only keeping that on certain drives where it's like, 3rd and long and you don't have a choice. So
no, I think our meters are the same. However, I have some more to add to that. But you want to throw mine up, Fick?
Absolutely. And here you go, Dave.
Yeah. So last week, I think I was actually 1/4 of the way. So I was almost near the red, but it wasn't more so on. It wasn't because of Caleb's. It was because of the pairing of Shane Waldron and Caleb, the coaching around him, the offensive line. It was not great. A lot can change in a week. It's a week-to-week league, as we know. Right now, I have him very, very close to green, because not only am I seeing him command this offense, he's confident. His poise in the pocket is beyond his years. I know it's a cliche, but seriously, you look around the league, the way he just stays in the pocket. Now, sometimes I want him to get out of there, like maybe sense it a little bit more, or just get to the flat faster. There was a couple sacks he may have avoided if he would have just dumped it off to Swift on one. However, even though it was great, the first half was brutal. A lot of other factors played into it. So many penalties. I think they had 6 or 7 in the first half.
Bro.
5 on the offense alone. And then my other big nitpicking here is the deep ball accuracy. Today, I don't know, there was one to DJ Moore that DJ kind of stopped, but I thought it was a catch. I thought if he goes full speed and he doesn't slow down,
I think that's more on DJ than Caleb.
But it also is a little high. And then his deep ball, I feel like sometimes there's not even an opportunity for like Rome Odunze to even go up and get it, who I believe deserves more opportunities than Caleb is maybe giving him so far through 4 games. I know last week was his coming out party in regards to Rome Odunze. But I just wish that he would just give them a little bit more opportunity. So that's my only concern, is that I just through 4 games. I know we're a quarter of the way, or I guess a little less now that there's 17 games, but I thought it would be a little bit better than where it's at right now. And so there is some disconnect with all the wide receivers, not Cole Kmet, because I think those guys are just in sync, him and Caleb. But I don't know how do you feel about the deep ball?
So I think it kind of goes back to what I said. Like, we knew there were some inaccuracies, but I wonder if it's like, I think he's so focused on like not making a mistake on the deep ball. And I wonder if also another thing I'll tell you, actually, this might be more important. With a deep ball, you need time, right? And with time, that means you need your line to block. This line has shown so far through 4 games, right? Even though there's plays where they have given him time, right? But overall, I wonder if there's a little bit of like happy feet, which obviously will affect your throw because you're like, is this line going to hold up? And let's be real, on one of the deep schemed plays in the first half, that's where he got sacked, fumbled right on that right outside with Braxton Jones and I think it was Jared Verse. So how much is that like him being comfortable with those longer plays? I don't know. But again, the accuracy, I agree. It's got to get a little bit better. And I think it will because, again, this isn't – if it would have been like, okay, he didn't have accuracy at USC with those deep balls, you'd be concerned then, right? You'd be like, okay, this is something he just wasn't good with in the past. He's not going to be good with it now, right? Or we knew this was a weakness. He'll just have to improve. But that wasn't him. So I feel like it's probably less of a like physics, right? Or a physical thing and more of a mental thing. And I'm hoping that can get coached out, hopefully. And maybe we'll start to see that if the O-line and maybe the scheme, gets a little bit better and they start, blocking a little bit longer. So, but I agree with you. It's less concerning based off last week because last week we saw a couple of beautiful deep balls that we was like, that's Caleb. But if you were to ask me the first 2 weeks that we saw, bro, he wasn't hit anything. And it almost on the deep ball, you were more concerned it was going to be a pick than anything. So I feel you on that. Let's give it a little bit more time. I'd say like a concern meter. If we're doing like 0 out of 10, I'd say like last week I was probably concerned at like a 6 and now I'm at a 4. So still some concern, but at least his misses didn't turn into interceptions, which he had in last week and week 2.
And that's what I said, Ficky. It was one of my biggest emphases. I think we win that game last week against the Colts, even though they had red zone troubles. If Caleb does not get 2 picks last week.
Sure.
One was his fault for sure, late to the flat. The other one was a very, very tight window throw to Rome. Shit happens. I get it. Still, there's a risk factor when you kind of make those throws into such tight windows. And I like what you pointed out here about his deep ball because there is risk when you throw it, right? Especially playing in Chicago where it was windy as hell today, right? So you don't know exactly where that ball is going to go because it's a harder, lower percentage throw. However, I do like that he is, I guess, not putting it into he's not underthrowing it, right? You don't want to see that because that's where picks happen.
Where the picks happen
90% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mitch Trubisky, right? But the one thing today, I was like, if they win, it's because of the turnover factor, like 0 turnovers. Matthew Stafford, as good as he is, 2 picks today?
Well, yeah, 1 got taken away, but yeah.
Yeah. 2 picks, 1 pick, I guess, and then a strip for Montez Sweat,
which is not his fault. Jesus Christ. If you watch that play, it's Montez, first of all, Montez
2 guys
blocked by a tight end and a running back, which is never, I mean, it's 2 people, so you figure you'd be able to control it, but that didn't work out so much. So. Great. Montez had a great game though overall, like pressures, he had the strip sack, and then he batted on 3rd down, 2 balls on 3rd down, which ended up killing the drive where they had to get field goals, where it looked like the wide receiver was open, but he tipped it to knock it down because the dude's like 6'7". So great job by Montez and the defense overall. And I know we talked about Brisker a little bit, but it's not even the interceptions where I'm like, oh, great job, Brisker. I mean, that's good, but like his tackling this year has been remarkable.
Unreal.
Specifically his tackling against the run game. He finds out, especially if it's like a wide zone run, that motherfucker's running up quickly. He's had so many tackles at the line or tackles for loss because he reads the play well and give credit to the defensive line, like forcing Catane, and he goes out there and just lays the hammer. Like his tackling has been amazing this year.
Jaquan Brisker, I really genuinely think he's a superstar. I seriously 100% believe that. Maybe not yet, but like the signs, the growth, everything you're seeing week to week is there. I mean, he should have had 2 picks today on Matthew Stafford. But his final stat line, let me read this to you. Jaquan Brisker versus the Rams, 12 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 interception. I mean, I don't even think he missed a tackle. Now he had that penalty for a late hit, but the physicality that he plays with, and also just the secondary in general, is It's awesome. It reminds me of old school football. They attack the ball. They hit hard. I mean, even Austin Booker, who had a awesome hit on Matthew Stafford, where Stafford was on the ground just like, what the hell is going on? This was late in the fourth, I think, or middle of the fourth. But Jaquan Brisker, I truly believe, is just having such an ascension into this. Like, he is taking his game to another level. Eddie Jackson, so good, but not near the tackler that Jaquan Brisker is. And I mean, it's the secondary. We knew it was going to be a really fun part of this defensive unit. And I think they are just leaps and bounds. I think they have 7 or 8 turnovers already on the season.
Bro, and
through 4 games.
And that's why, which we'll get to it here in a second, but that's why I know you have to win and things are going to fall on Matt Eberflus, but this man has been coaching this defense now for, I'd say, like maybe 15 games straight, counting last season, at an elite level. Ever since he's taken over play calling, I've never walked away from a game and been like, wow, the defense really lost us that game. Like, they have kept us in every game to the best of their ability while also being on the field for a long ass time, specifically last year and early this year. So he is cooking back there. And I love to see that the players that we have weapons that are executing, because it's not only Montez Sweat, it's not only Jaquan Brisker. You're seeing breakouts from Javon Dexter, right? Some pressures, a sack today. You're seeing new guys like Darrell Taylor making plays again this week. You see, obviously, JJ being locked down like he is. Tyreek's been a little up and down, but still statistically, he's been average, which is good. Like, you got players all across the board, and and don't forget about the linebackers who have been beasts since they came here. Like, it's just, you have a lot of great weapons on that side, and it's great to see that you have a mastermind, which we'd love on offense, putting these players in the best situations that benefit their skill sets. If we,
I want to say this,
a little bit. That's not even. That's a weird word. If we see just a little bit, and I'll let you go. If we see a little bit of it on the offensive side, game over. Because they also on the other side, we have those weapons. Offensive line, maybe not, but at least talent on the skill positions. It's like these people should be getting open. We should be having more of a run game and things like that. So,
when it comes to Shane Waldron. Again, he is frustrating. And there are moments in this game where it was almost doomsday-ish. However, the offense just is, as a whole, is not even helping their OC. I mean, penalties, kill drives, put you in very, not favorable positions. 2nd and long, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 14. As a play caller, not ideal. You saw it, though, as the game went on, especially in the second half, where you're able to, he made the right call. Roshan Johnson on 3rd and 1. Let's run it down. Stop us. I formation. Doug Kramer as the fullback. We're going to punish you. We're going to get this yard. That right there is something I just love to see, because Shane wasn't being tricky. He just ran the ball, gave it to Roshan Johnson, didn't get to Swift, even though Swift had an insane day. We haven't even gotten to DeAndre Swift in his stat line. But just the second half especially, I was very impressed with Shane Waldron and how that entire offense bounced back, because they could have easily shit the bed in the second half. And
they were going
seriously, it would be, DEFCON 5 in Chicago. If you're 1-3 and you had the same exact performance in the first half versus the Rams in the second half. And I'm telling you, I don't think, obviously they don't fire in season, but there would have been people calling for jobs. Matt Eberflus, similar to last year when he was 0-4, would have been on the hot seat. Now you're 2-2. Like I said, 2-0 at home. You're feeling a lot better about yourself. I don't even know who they play next week.
Panthers.
The Panthers. You're playing the Panthers, dude. I know Andy Dalton revenge game is a little scary.
He almost beat the Bengals
well.
Today.
They're playing well.
He's
I don't think the
2-0.
Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are good.
Well, they're not. They're almost 0-4, and they almost lost to the Panthers, which is crazy.
So, anyways, you have a very winnable matchup next week, and just continue to build this momentum, right? Stack wins here, and especially in this 4 or 5 game window before you have to go against the division. Because the Vikings looked insane. The Packers looked beatable. So I really liked what I saw from Shane. I know we give OCs hell. Shane deserves it too, but he also deserves his flowers for what he did today, because what you're working with sometimes is not ideal. And then the entire, I don't know how the offensive line looked better with Tevin Jenkins out. But seriously, it looked fluid, cohesive. They were getting to the second level on blocks. They were not committing penalties, especially in that second half. Outside of Cole Kmet,
only Cole. Yeah.
Outside of Cole Kmet, it was a pretty clean game in that second half.
I would love to know what the halftime, like what Fluke said coming in there at halftime. I would love, because how that team came out in the second half was, well, defense still looked good. So I'm not nothing on that. But on the offensive side, night and day. So I don't know what message got to them, and maybe it wasn't Earflus. It could have been Waldron, whoever it is, whatever coaches, what they got into the team to be focused and tight when it came to, executing. Hats off. So I agree, Dave. Like, first half, doom and gloom, specifically for me, like, because not like this is the first game and you're like, whatever. It's a repeat of what we've been seeing. So it's like, oh, how is there no change? And honestly, I thought the first half was worse than what we saw last week. And you're like, how are we going backwards? So that's why I was like, I don't have faith that's moving forward. But now that we've seen it, we've now seen 2 quarters of an effective offense. It's not lights out, but you establish a run game. You're effective with your passes. You know what I mean? Efficient. That gives you hope that you can continue down that path with your rookie quarterback. That also plays a huge part in building confidence. Again, because we have a rookie quarterback, even though he may be super talented and super touted, it is a rookie quarterback who's facing defenses that he's never seen before. All of these are new reps for him. So I think having a win like this and doing it in an efficient way can help him kind of develop that mindset, which then will open up the Caleb Williams that we know from USC. If you're more efficient, right, then you can take those risks on those deep balls and play action fakes and things like that. The problem was he was kind of doing it inversely, where he was kind of going all, deep first and not check down to touchdown. So,
and you're right. You saw that today. The broadcast team, Mark Sanchez highlighted it, like even on those play actions where you want to go deep. And Caleb, you watch his body language, you watch his eyes. He even pump faked a little bit, like he was gonna maybe let one go to Keenan. I think midway through the third. And you just taking the check down, taking the 5-6 yards, right, to get in those favorable positions on 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. I think that is growth, because he has the ability to kind of put that Superman cape on, go and big game hunt in regards to just chunk yards. We saw it last week, right, with Roma Dunze, where he was just delivering some insane balls deep down the field, especially near the sideline. But I think Caleb seriously is going to be so good, and probably an elite quarterback in this league once they really truly get those trenches right. Because today it was better. For one half, it was better. But you saw the problems in that first half. But once he is able to just really not have to worry about that internal clock, like, hey, I'm going to have 3-4 seconds, or at least 3 good seconds where I have protection. And even then, if it's not there, he can roll out and show that magic. And the ability to kind of create. I really think we're on the cusp of seeing something special with him, just because of how I know the numbers are not. If you're looking at the box score, you might just see Justin Fields, right? But it's what he's doing at the line, the command of the offense, what they're asking him to do as a rookie, is just it's really promising. It's impressive. Sure. It's promising. It's a good word.
And another thing that I enjoyed, and I think will be good for him, is with those checkdowns, it wasn't like he was checking it down and we got a yard, right? Like some of the checkdowns ended up, especially to Swift, he ended up getting like 8-9 yards, or if not, the first down. So it's like, if we can develop that mental mindset for Caleb to be like, hey, look, just because you check down doesn't mean that it doesn't also move the ball in an effective way. I think that is good. And then also having that mindset, knowing that your offensive line can't hold up as long as what you would like, or at least not as frequently as you'd like, that lets you know, okay, get the ball out quick, which he's been doing. So basically, go through my progression. Is it not there? Okay, drop it off. Instead of trying to big game hunt, which we saw like the first 2 weeks, which is why there was even, I'd say, a double amount of sacks. Some of them still on offensive line, but some of those were him just holding the ball too long, trying to, force a lot. But another good thing, which we've talked about, but I just think it is the most important part, because you didn't see it in the first half and you saw it in the second half, and we haven't seen it all this season till the second half. Rushing the ball on first down. We did it a lot, and we've done a lot all season, but we have not got positive yards. The second half, we had so many first down runs, which put us in at least 2nd and 6 or better. that sets you up for success like no other. And I don't care if this is against the worst rushing defense or like a horrible defense. We couldn't do it in the first half. And it's nice to see, right? They can walk away from this and go, oh, wow. And obviously they know this, but wow, when we get into a second and mid or short situation, we're helping at least we're increasing our rate of success on these drives. Because in the first half, whether it was getting tackled immediately at the line, because we saw that again, or penalties, right? How many times we were in 1st and 15 or 2nd and 15 just kills a drive. And we saw it. So I'm hoping they understand the importance of running, which I know they do because they've been trying to run it. But I'm hoping that some of the schemes they took away from today, they can help build off those for next week and then continue with that mindset moving forward, because the run game helps out a rookie quarterback like no other. And that's only going to help us in the long run, the team and Caleb. So.
Well said, Fick. I want to also, I know we're talking about Caleb Williams a lot in this offense. We didn't even get to DeAndre Swift, which I want to, but I want to shift here to Tory Taylor. I know we talked about him briefly because he really did change the game. I want to look at just some numbers here. The win percentages from the game. This is from Jacob Infante, friend of the show. This is a hell of a tweet. Check it out. But the win percentage changes for the Bears after each of Tory Taylor's 5 punts per ESPN. So first punt, plus 1.9%. Second punt, plus 0.9%. His third punt was negative or minus 3.2%. But then his final 2, set plus 7%, plus 8%.
Yeah, it
was a net game of 22.7% from just his punts alone.
Yeah, those are the ones that literally bounced on the 4, and then the other one bounced
that
on like
backspin is
crazy.
Demonic, dude. It's nasty. It's like some like wizardry. Just like I could not. It was incredible. I really think I'm using the word superstar, but like I really believe he could be a superstar. X Factor.
Yeah, give our punter an X Factor. No, but look. Again, you don't want your punter out there. Obviously, that's never a good sign. But when he's out there, flipping the field is crucial. There was the one where we were on, I think, our own 30, and he ended up punting it basically to their 30. Like, that is huge because we know percentage-wise where you start, like 20 yards versus 30 versus 40 versus 50, like 40 and 50, you're starting to get around like 50, 60% that you're automatically going to get 3 points or if not a touchdown. So make it like just a numbers game of making sure to decrease their likelihood to get points is huge. And that is why they took him as early as they did in the 4th round, because this is exactly what you drafted. Immediate impact. Again, you don't want to see him out there, but when at least he's out there, you're especially tying him up with this defense is what makes it even more special. Because you get the ball pinned within the 20. I feel super comfortable that this defense, because that means you have to march 80 yards the field on this defense. That's not happening.
Stafford did do it once or twice this game.
Right, but he got 3 though. I don't think he marched the whole thing
holding
to get 7,
them to 3.
Right,
but yeah, you take those odds. This defense pinning it, this defense against a team or another opposing offense inside their 15 is dangerous. You're at least going to get a stop at the very least. And you saw at the end of the game, you get a turnover, right? The pressure. I know Darrell Taylor hit Matthew Stafford high, maybe helmet to helmet. I don't care. You get away with that one. But man, I mean, that's the Bears secondary is going to be suffocating inside that. Now, of course, Stafford did drive down on one of them, of course, but held them to 3. I just think that pairing you said, Ficky, it's electric, man. It can be game changing. Like Infante tweeted per ESPN, you saw the percentages rise each punt, except for one, and then those final 2. I mean, what 14% it was total in those 2 punts.
You pin someone within the 10 twice, it's over. Like it is so hard to march down the field 90 yards and get
this right here from Alex Hamilton on YouTube. But shout out to Alex. I think sometimes he's watching on Twitter. So first of all, hopping over onto YouTube.
He's watching
Love
after
it.
he lifts too, all the time.
Oh, really?
He's leaving the gym, yeah.
Man, I appreciate that. But no, seriously, the support. If you're here, a lot of people in the chat, hit that like button, subscribe if you like the show, and if you love the Bears, this is all we talk about. But coaching, way too many penalties today. Absolutely correct. But the Bears still won. How about that? That's very rare for a team to have as many penalties they did and still come away with the win.
What was the total? We had like 10 for like 100 or something like that. At one point it was 8 for like 94 or something like that or something.
I have it here. So they had a total of, let's see here.
8 penalties is crazy.
They had 10 penalties for 84 yards.
That's so bad. And you know what's crazy though? Because we talked about it in the pregame show. Penalties wise, we were actually like dead middle. Like we were 14th in the league. So we were decent.
It's
so
fixable.
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened this week. And most of it was offense, of course. It's always offense. It's not like the defense. I think the defense had like 2 penalties. Like one was a hold by Tyreek.
Yeah.
I think maybe only one on defense. So of course it's the offense. So if we can get that just somehow cleaned up a little bit more. It's just the offense every time. I'm just happy we're making a little bit of progress. And like you say, every game, being able to learn from your mistakes, but win is huge because there's a whole different mindset and it's not doom and gloom, not even from a fan perspective. But I'm not even talking about us. I'm talking about the players in the locker room and the coaches. You can come in motivated, ready to go, try to make your mistakes and get ready for your next opponent next week. So to come away from this win after having that many penalties, like you said, Dave, is a testament to the resilience.
You got to fix it. You got to clean it up for sure.
Yeah,
but
you can't have that next week. You can't
much better to clean it up now. Well, I mean, the Panthers aren't a good team.
Right, that's true.
Well, again, maybe I got to stop what I'm saying against Carolina because I don't want this to come out and bite me in the butt here and we somehow lose to Carolina. But I agree. Clean it up. After win is much better. Vibes are better. We get that. I want to move to, first of all, you want to get to, do you have anything else, Vic, graphic wise?
Yeah, we can do
we'll do our read as well.
Let's do our read real quick.
Yeah.
You don't mind.
And we'll move on.
All right. If this is your first time here, first off, thank you so much. We go live twice a week. We do a pregame for every opponent, which we typically do on Fridays around like 8 or 9 p.m. And then we also do the post-game lives, which obviously are after whenever the Bears play. So if it's your first time, please give a like and subscribe.
Time out. Fridays typically either 7 to 9. It just depends. And the reason we do them on Fridays, the reason people are like, oh, why Friday? Injury report comes out final on Friday. So we can kind of really, truly know what's going to happen heading into Sunday. So
great.
I don't know why I wanted to say
Appreciate that. No, you're good. It definitely helps. So we decided to adjust because it brings more value to our pregame show. So you can check us out on Fridays and then obviously post games depending on when the Bears play, like we're live now. So if this is your first time, please give a hashtag new face gang in the chat. We'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. And if you're OG, which means this is your second time watching or you watch all 98, 99 episodes, then leave a hashtag OG in the chat and we'll make sure to give you a shout out. And then also, if you would want to support Dave and I, we do have a store right here, the BFRstore.com, where we have hats, hoodies, shirts, as you can see here, a bunch of different colors, a whole bunch of great stuff there. So if you want to support us, or if you just want to grab some fire merch to rock, you know what I mean, to show off after a Bears win, or buy a gift for your friend, family, then please do that in the BFRstore.com. All the proceeds just go back into the show to making this much better and bringing more value and all that things to you to make a better show for y'all. So we appreciate that. And the final thing, if you want to join our community that is constantly growing, which thank you guys so much for joining if you're in there. But we do have a Patreon called The BFR Den on Patreon. We have a free tier, which means you can just go in there, kind of see what's going on. We at least post our monthly schedule so you can see what we do each month. And then for the, we have a rookie tier, a rookie Grizzly tier, and we have a Hall of Fame Grizzly tier, which comes with different things like free giveaways, one-on-one Zoom calls, mailbag episodes. And we do this all monthly. And then any other extra value that we will come up with and bring along the way will be dropped to the Patreon. So thank you so much. I think it's only like $3 or like $6. It's basically less than like 2 cups of coffee. So we really do appreciate. And again, all that money goes back into the show because this show is for the fans, by the fans because Dave and I are fans just like you. So we're just trying to build an ongoing community here. So again, if this is your first time, hashtag new face gang in the chat. And if you're an OG, hashtag OG in the chat. We'll make sure to give you a shout out before the end of the show. Back to you, Dave.
No, absolutely. I can't say it enough. The support's been awesome. A lot of OGs out there. You guys have been supporting. Again, we're on the road to 10K subs. Actually, we're almost at 1 million views as well on YouTube. Near and there after just one season, 1.25 seasons of doing and covering this team on the pod. So really, really love the support. And of course, love our Apple, Spotify listeners as well. And yeah, I'm excited, man. Bears winning is so much better. These pods, we've done so many where it's loss after loss.
We've done a lot.
Drama in this short amount of time. Drama, disappointment.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but 2-2, I don't know why I feel really good. I do. I feel optimistic. This was a really big win. This is why I wish we would have beat Indy too, because then you would really be feeling 3-1, man.
And you know what though? That does suck. It's just crazy how the NFL is because it's yes, we should have won that game. And I'm not taking that away. Like we should have won that game. But you see it across the league where it's like, how are these teams losing? Like, for example, whoever the Panthers beat last week, I can't remember. That shouldn't happen. Right? Like Andy Dalton shouldn't come in and then you lose to Andy Dalton. You know? So I'm hoping this is like the Colts one is just one of maybe a few games this year where it just happens where you're like, bro, our team just didn't show up to play. If we can limit that sample size to like 2 games, maybe 3, we'll give ourselves a chance. The problem was last year was like we had 6 of those games, right? And 3 of them where we literally were up, and we blew the lead. So I'm hoping that that's just one of the early bugs that you're just like, all right, we got that out of our system. Let's beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, whether it's ugly or not. We get away with the W like we saw today. Yeah.
No, I mean, the NFL is a weird league. But that's why we love it. That's why we love it.
Sure.
That's why we love it, man. Especially talk about weird things here. DeAndre Swift had a very weird start to the season, but this was his game, man. He really, truly delivered. And one thing about Swift was his balance, after contact was a kind of a weird thing in these first 3 weeks. It was like you touch him, he was going down, or at least losing his balance, allowing the defensive backs, linebackers even to catch up and make a play. Today, I'm really excited to see the yards after contact because, his touchdown run alone, he got tripped, tripped up, but he kept his balance and just was like a freaking bullet. It was impressive, that run alone. But 73 receiving yards as well. That's where I thought he was going to be most dangerous in this Bears offense heading into the season. And we saw it today, 93 total rushing yards as well. Of course, 1 touchdown and then 1 bounce back game. So, he is the key, I think, to this offense really getting going. Him and Roshan, because they were the way they complemented each other was awesome. Feel bad for Herbert, odd man out, but I'm glad they didn't even go to him. Don't fuck with it. Just keep it going. Keep the momentum. Roshan gets better as the game goes on. Very similar to like Jordan Howard, where as the game progresses, he just gets better and better. Yeah, Howard. I know we can't compare the two because Howard was pretty great, but Roshan is. I think people forget how good he was at Texas, and even last year, he is just probably one of the angriest runners I've seen.
Well, think about that huge third down, which really helped seal the game on that last drive where Jared Verse, who is, I don't care what anybody says, phenomenal. It's not just this week. He has been killing it all season. So hats off to him. But he gets one hand on Khalil, and it looks like he's going to pull him down easily. And Khalil just powers through it and gets that first down. And then going back to DeAndre Swift, that run where he basically got hit 4 yards in, and then the pile moved. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, look at Mercedes Lewis and Cole Kmet pushing the pile. You watch the replay, he's in front of them, and it's literally his feet turning. Their hands aren't even really on him. It's like blocking was just next to him. So that was purely DeAndre Swift. So seeing that effort that we saw from these two running backs, right, gives you hope. The only missing piece, or I guess the only really, really big concern is blocking. So if we can get better schemes and better execution on the blocking, Roshan and DeAndre are definitely good enough to have games like this. They are.
No, yeah, and it's not always going to be this pretty. We obviously we saw that week 1 through 3, but yeah, I mean to be able to build on this is great for this team. I mean, even the confidence heading into next week is going to be obviously it's going to be higher, but I think that's what this is a signature win. I know it's early, but beating Sean McVay is no easy task. Matthew Stafford, Hall of Famer, or at least an elite quarterback still at 36 years old. He is still probably one of the best processors in the league. And you saw it today. And to beat a team where you could easily, I mean, the Bears have lost these type of games so many times. And you even throw in a rookie quarterback, right? And an offense that's still trying to figure it out. I mean, the whole entire first half, they basically, if they wouldn't have taken the field, it would have been like the same results, maybe even better. Or just let Tory punt it on first. And let the defense.
Don't even waste running the ball.
That first half was terrible. But the Bears lose these games all the time. And then it was refreshing to be able to get this win at home. That's why I'm so positive. People are gonna be like, you're a homer. Oh, Caleb, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, man. A win is a win in the NFL. It's fucking hard to win. Enjoy it. On to Carolina. Let's beat those Let's just win. Let's just keep winning. You know,
and that's actually a good transition. We had a question here I was going to do for later, but Ray on Facebook said, LOL, why are you both homers? They barely won. The O-line's still terrible. Look, that can all be factual, and we agree. The O-line still hasn't looked great. No one said we were seeing this team win 10 straight. We got to win, and we talked about how bad the first half is. But
this win,
good to build off of.
Yeah, this win doesn't change the fact that they could move on from Flus for Ben Johnson in the offseason, right? None of this means anything in regards to the offseason. But the NFL is a hard league to win in. When you get them, you enjoy them, because as a Bears fans, we should know this is not the norm. But I'm telling you, I want this team to be competitive in week 15, in week 16, at least have a chance, fight for something, play for something, allow Caleb to get that experience, because they are still in a good spot heading into next year. Even the years after that. So
question for you.
Yeah.
How high was your anxiety when we didn't get on the last drive, we didn't get the first down, which I figured was going to happen, right? Especially after that penalty. And we give the ball back to the number one quarterback in comebacks or game-winning drives in like NFL history. And knowing the Bears and their history.
I'm sick, dude.
Yeah. I don't know how you felt, but I was like, oh my God. And of course, we're only up 6 too.
The only reason I felt better, and that's, you know, what's so funny. I want to talk about that, Fake. You said we're only up 6, because when we punted the ball away, actually before we punted, I looked at the score and I was like, I thought we were up 7. And I was like, oh, we're up 6, dude. We're up 6. They can win this with the touchdown. That's when I got a little nervous. But then I saw Tory's punt, and we got him inside, the 6. I felt a lot better, but still nervous. However, that I kind of accepted. I said, hey, whatever happens here. You know,
for sure. I didn't expect a turnover ceiling game, but that was because if it was any other quarterback, but I'm like, bro, they literally just spent like the first half talking about, they even had the graphics and all that. I think it was like him like a creepy type of Halloween thing of Stafford hiding in the back, like ready to make comebacks. And they literally just made a comeback last week against a really good 49ers team. So
yeah,
if like the NFL script writers were really writing like, oh yeah, here we go. Same old Matthew Stafford. But to see this team be backs against the wall, literally backs against the wall with a chance to lose the game, actually win it. Because last year we did not see that. When they were in this situation, more than not, they blew the game away. It doesn't matter if it was a great team or if it was a shitty team, they would end up finding a way to fuck it up. And it's just nice to walk away, like you said, Dave. So hard to get a win. And it's nice to see this team walk away with a win.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not going to apologize. Like I know that's like a meme, but I'm not going to apologize for being excited, optimistic, confident, even because I think he's legit. I think the Bears have a lot of weapons. You saw today, Keenan back as well. His blocking was very underrated. He made a couple plays today where I'm like, I mean, for a veteran guy, a big guy, yeah. And he was even upset with himself.
Yeah, on the one.
Rome's a good blocker too.
Yeah, because on DeAndre Swift's touchdown, big run, if Rome's not holding that guy for that long, He gets tackled right there. So, yeah, it was good to see overall. Maybe they didn't get as much receptions as we'd like, but to see them executing in the second half on even little things like blocks.
We just had 350 yards passing last week. I'll take a game where it's like, hey, you gut it out. You get the victory at home against a very, very good coaching staff in LA and Matthew Stafford, who's an elite quarterback still, in my opinion, in this league.
Oh, 100%. Top 5 of my opinion.
I understand, but like, I don't care. That's why I'll take the 100 whatever yards, 160, 155 yards, whatever throwing.
No.
The game flow was weird. It was the Rams had, I don't know what the time of the possession was, but it felt like the Rams just had so much. Yeah, time of possession was actually pretty even. 31 minutes for LA, 28 minutes for
I think it was the
Chicago.
Because in the first half, they had 3 field goals, which means that they marched down. Technically had 4 field goals. They missed one, right? So that means they had 4 drives where they marched down into our territory close enough where they could hit. So, like, I'm sure in the first half, time of possession wasn't much. And we had, like, again, so many penalties that we either had 3 and outs or 6 and outs, where it's like we got the first down, but then we'd get a penalty and then the drive would be dead. So, yeah, it's good to see in the second half that we even that up because we ran the ball so much effectively.
Yeah. So I want to bring up this, and we'll get out of here in the next 5.
We still have our Flus meter, by the way, and voicemails. Just a heads up.
Oh well, let's just real quick. I want to say this. This was DJ Moore after the game on the laser from Caleb that obviously sailed over his head. Looked like that DJ kind of slowed down. And I want to say one thing as well about DJ Moore, because there was a viral clip from our producer, Jack, who's not here. He's still probably getting out of Soldier Field. He was at the game.
Probably.
But it was, and he said that DJ Moore was on the bench after every single offensive series, and he was by himself. And he was also the last guy to go into the locker room at halftime. It did not look great. I did not freak out because I know who DJ Moore is. I know he's a team player. It's frustrating. That first half was fucking frustrating. He's allowed to feel that way. But shout out to Jack for getting that video capturing just all the emotions. There's also another video later from Jack, I think in the fourth quarter, where you see Caleb talking both to DJ and Keenan on the bench, which is really cool. Go check it out.
To get those great seats.
But DJ Moore after the game, he said, I'll take that blame. I went back out wide. I just wasn't on the same page with Caleb. Now I know I'll take that. He thought I was doing one thing and I messed it up. That was really it. I told him he was cool. So again, they're just a little off. It's going to get there. 4 games in, long season. You hope to see these guys connect on a few more of these plays. But you saw it with Justin and DJ. It may have been a little bit faster. I don't know exactly when they started to click, but
wasn't a rookie quarterback.
Seriously, once it happens, DJ is a very quarterback-friendly receiver, so it's going to happen. But let's get to our Flus meter, and then let's get to our voicemails.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get our shout-outs as well.
All right. So for me, Flus, I would have moved him more. I kept him just at the half, but there's so many penalties, and I know they were on the offensive side, but it's like, come on, like you are the head coach, so some of that blame has to fall on you. But if you were to tell me we had the same amount of penalties like last game, which was like 3 to 4, I would probably move that tick up because his defense still looks.
No, he's an elite defensive play caller. It's insane. Sure. I wish we could demote him sometimes. Like if we end up changing to like Ben Johnson as the head coach OC and Flus as the DC. Super
remarkable. Yeah.
Good Lord. I would love to see that. But my Flus meter, I think I actually have him halfway as well.
And you were in the red, I think, last week, right?
Just got a cramp in my foot. You didn't get to see it on there. Yeah. I was like, ooh, man, that hurt. Flus is in the middle for me because there are some things you want to clean up. We talked about penalties. We talked about coaching, being prepared, starting out hot, some red flags there, right? Overall, I'm still in the middle. You're 2-2. I don't think there's reason to be too doomsday, right? Because the Bears are still winning games, even though they have a lot of things to kind of work on. But that's every NFL team, man. It's not going to be perfect. The Chiefs are not perfect. Mahomes looks vulnerable sometimes. They just win.
They no matter what. In the regular season,
like, they win, dude. At the end of the day, just win.
Week 14,
just win.
They start going crazy. But like they lost to like a super shitty team last year in the regular season. So like it just happens. You're just hoping that what we need for this team is to give ourselves the best opportunity to be in the playoffs, because in the playoffs, anything can happen. So Being
Hell yeah.
2-2 right now, obviously we'd want to be 3-1. Hopefully we can get a win somewhere where people don't expect it later on in the season. But
let's get to our voicemails and then we'll go our shout outs and get out of here, boys.
cool. Let's
Sound
do
good?
it. All right. We got a first one from our OG and Hall of Fame Patreon member, Gage. Let's see what he has to say about the game.
All right.
I don't understand what the hell is going on. We have like the fantasy dream team here with Swift, Moore, Keenan Allen. Our O-line can't hold up with shit. Man, if we don't win this second half of the game in dominant fashion, Shane Waldron needs to be looking for a new job by Monday. That's all I got to say.
Well, Gage, that was a first half voicemail, obviously, but
I can see it.
So I'm sure you're feeling a lot better. So appreciate that one. We got Stephen next.
First off, I just want to say big win, man. Feels nice to watch these 4 o'clock games, in a better mood than the past few weeks. My only negative I really have is just the pre-snap penalties on offense. Discipline just seems to be an issue under this Eberflus regimen, so, some things never change, I guess. But nonetheless, I want to give my flowers to the defense, but 2 players on the defense, Javon Dexter and Jaquan Brisker. Hell of a game by those 2 today. Swift heard the noise as well on the offense. All that talk the past few weeks about him, his vision, just not playing how he should be, But he showed up today, had some big plays. Caleb keeps progressing week by week, which is a positive, I think. He's getting better and better. Showed a lot of, command in the pocket today. Stayed in the pocket, made some good throws. Did have some overthrows, but that's stuff that can be addressed. I just hope we can build on this man. Got a couple of winnable games the next few weeks. So, just a big win, man. Feels nice to, have a nice week and just build on this, man. Bear down.
Bear down. Thank you, Stephen. Spot on. Okay, we got Brock next.
We look good. It looks pretty good. It wasn't a fucking high-flying offense. We aren't the Chiefs. But it looked good. It looked fucking good. Overall, Caleb Williams was not a superstar, but he did what he had to do. He was efficient. He had a high completion percentage. He did well. Defense is awesome, like always. Our punter is fucking amazing. This guy's fucking awesome. Fucking Aussie. But yeah, right down. It was awesome.
Right there with you. Awesome is correct. It is awesome. All right, Marcus, we got next.
Honestly, wasn't that ugly. I don't think. Caleb had that one fumble in the first half, but other than that, he was pretty good about protecting the ball today. He had a couple plays where he looked a little uncomfortable in the pocket, but for the most part, he looked good today. I can't complain. Defense did good. We were able to shut Matthew Stafford down. I was terrified before that pick at the end. I was like, oh man, Stafford's just gonna run right down the field and end it. But no, defense did their job. Caleb did his, like the rest of the offense did. Like we looked like a competent football team for once, and I'm not used to this. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with that. That was a great game, and yeah, so bear down.
So many bear downs at the end. I love that's how everyone signs off. But yeah, I was terrified on that last drive. All right, Isaiah.
Yeah.
All right, look, this is what it can look like when the team puts it together, when the offense figures it out. The defense did what they did what they should, like every week. They did what they needed to. And now the offense is putting it together. This is only a glimpse, a hot flash of what it can look like when this team really capitalizes on all 3 sides of the ball. The defense was lights out. The offense played well. They played competently. Shane Waldron actually looked like an offensive coordinator. And Tory Taylor, build the Tory Taylor statue right now. Build it right now. We're going into next week against the Panthers, so we'll see how that goes. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck the Packers. Go Bears.
Love it.
Hey, that's got to be a clip TikTok. That was a
statue.
good one, dude. Build the statue. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's a Hall of Fame voicemail right there.
Yeah, we love that. We love that.
Funny stuff, dude.
That was a good stuff, though. Appreciate all the voicemails.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for you guys still watching the show, we do have a voicemail line on our Twitter. It's on all of our BFR pages. It's on Dave's and mine Twitter. You can go, and basically it's just like you call in, you hold a button like you're doing a voice note, and then it like records it, and then we can play them on the show. And we play all of them on the show as long as they're respectable and, don't get yourself canceled and things like that. But we love hearing all of your guys' reactions because it's some of the same stuff that Dave and I are thinking live as we're watching these games too. So appreciate it.
Very similar. Very similar stuff. So I think we got our OGs out the way. I think that about wraps it up.
Oh,
right,
did we
Fick?
put them on there? No, let me, I didn't put them out here just yet.
Okay.
1 second. Let me do that real quick.
Cool. And while Fick gets that together again, the sport's been unreal. Hit that like button before or on the way out. We appreciate it. And let's get to our OGs.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we got Gage with the hashtag Koshly.
Hey, I like the YouTube
Avi
too.
Yeah, that's nice. Cautiously optimistic OG. And I did put a comment earlier. He said he was happy in the second half since he did send like a halftime voicemail. So good to hear there. Hashtag OG with Alex Hamilton in here. Appreciate it, Alex. And then is this the same Stefan that sent in the voicemail? Let us know. But hashtag OG if so. Appreciate that as well. We got Giovanni Garcia on YouTube with the hashtag OG Bear Down. What's up, Gio? Mr. James said, my new Caleb jersey is undefeated. Hashtag OG. Well, you should not take that off ever again. That's what I should say. And then we got Chris in here who's active in the chat today with the hashtag OG. Appreciate that, Chris. Dobbsy34 with the hashtag OG. And then Westside Girl Reacts with the hashtag OG Victory Malort. That sounds horrible. Malort is... I'm probably gonna piss off some Chicago. That is the worst drink out there. But you know what? To each his own. Victory. You know what? I'll actually, if I'm next time in Chicago, I'll take one if we win. So hashtag Victory Malord on that. So thanks for everyone on the hashtags. Much appreciated. Oh, we got one more here. Final one that came in with Eduardo Garcia. Hashtag OG Swift. I'm sorry for what I said. You know what? I think we're all on the apology tour. I think that's fair. So
no, I tweeted. I said I'd like to apologize to DeAndre Swift. But again, I was also, if you look at the preview, I said it's way too early to give up on him.
Oh yeah, so I think we agree.
No pregame. No, but a lot of people are calling for him.
No, I know, but I'm saying we weren't. We're just saying he wasn't performing to the level of what we signed him for.
Not quite yet, because there was so many other phases in this offense that were just not
week
clicking.
3. There's no one that needs to be cut yet. Well, at the time, it's week 4 now. There's no one that needs to be cut 3 weeks in. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's such a small sample size. So. But yeah, that's all we got.
Appreciate again all the support. Road to 10K subs is still we're getting there. But the support's been awesome. Bears win. We'll be back early next week, so Tuesday, Wednesday, to kind of break down the film, kind of give a little bit more of I guess a more nuanced reaction. And how we think. And of course, maybe we'll look forward to Carolina a little bit, but the final preview for that game will be on Fridays. So again, enjoy this one. It's going to be a good week. You can actually watch SportsCenter or ESPN and not feel sick to your stomach about the Bears, which is always good. But we appreciate it. We'll be back here soon and bear down.
Peace.